Man, what's up? Y'all buying or selling today? Y'all buying or selling? Y'all buying or selling? Anybody buying? Y'all buying or selling? Y'all buying or selling? Alright. I'm not a financial dude, right? I don't get involved. And what's up? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get involved, right? I do got stocks, but I literally be like in the past whatever couple weeks, ain't really got all crazy with it or anything else like that because I'll focus on personally like the business that's paying, right? You gotta make sure that business is going well. Because stocks are like just your gambles, your risk and stuff. Stocks not even, it's not really sometimes. I wouldn't even technically call them exactly investments unless you're just gonna go put it in and then you leave it. That's an investment. All this other stuff, move, boo, 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 boo. Not it, right? That's it though. I'm a different mindset. I don't want nobody to have my mindset. Anything, do it make sense for you guys. But I've always known that the market changes off of stuff that has nothing to do with nothing, right? It can change off of how many stocks get bought, how many stocks get sold. It could change off of, a sexual harassment allegation. It could change off of, the succession of one CEO to another CEO or owner to other owner or, the acquisitions of this company and that company. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's major stuff which is going to drive the value of that stock, right? Which the stock doesn't even mean the company's doing good or bad, right? If I could look at it, being a Herbalife distributor, our company is always experienced year over is always has always been. I don't want to say always has been, but since I've been in, I've watched it have quarterly growth year over year. So first quarter, 1 year versus the next year, it's always trending upward. But the stock's gonna fluctuate. For what? Like best year ever, stock still fluctuates. The next year, better than last year, stock still fluctuate. The next year, better than last year, stock still will have moments like you know what I mean. So it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with like how great the company's doing for the stock to change. And people who aren't heavily invested and are novices are like trying to say, hey, I'm gonna go over here and do this, and it's not even rooted in like, oh man, they're about to come out with this new product that's going to, increase revenue like that. Anything could change the stock market, right? It just goes. It's volatile as shit. So good luck with everybody. Good luck with everybody doing all that stuff. I hope you got some gains, and everything else like that. The crazy thing is with the stuff that's going on with AMC, GameStop, and everything else like that, is the game that's always being played by these multi heavy millionaires, billionaires, is a game that most of us aren't in, and they've been playing it forever. So as they do acquisitions, as they short sell and buy stocks and do all this other stuff, that's been happening, right? But they're doing it as in one person can buy 100 million stocks, and then that makes the thing change, right? We, as the people, right, and I'm gonna say we as the people compared to what it would be like we as the 97%. I'm not the 97. I don't do this. I'm not worried about the stocks because I'm in the level of income that puts me in the top like 2% in America, right? By numbers. And unfortunately, it's crazy when you start looking at the stuff and they show you what the numbers is. I'm like the top 2%, 3% in America in terms of income. So I don't be necessarily like going off that, but it's of course it's huge disparity. I'm not like a billionaire, multimillionaire, and stuff like that, right? But the regular 97% is the majority of people just in general. So now you get this wave and this murmur of do GameStop, do AMC. What happens is the amount of stocks that get bought turns into as much quantity that can change the stocks, right? It can make a difference. What it can also do is it can put the people who are allegedly making these decisions that can say yay or nay to a lot of stuff take pause, shut stuff down based on the commonality, right? This is an agreed upon, this is a decision, this is a changed behavior of a massive amount, high majority of the population. What that does is it changes things. And what that means is you can change things. And that's the problem with people, right? People had changed behavior. Most people are doing stuff with stocks and they just started within the past 2 months. Downloaded the apps, started listening to people, doing the Robinhood, do the TD Ameritrade, doing this, doing that. They just started, right? Change behavior. But then with that change behavior and then coming together as in a common goal where there's agreed upon, like, hey, nobody's saying let's all do AMC. They're saying AMC is good, and then everybody does it, right? And with that, what happens? Hey, man, we're not going to let y'all buy and sell no more. They shut it down, but all that does is say, hey, we got to apply this to everything in life. You got to apply this to everything. Hey, does change behavior change my life? Does change behavior change my circumstances? Does change behavior as a population, can it change our circumstances? And I think that that's an area that people are just kind of looking at stocks, but they're not saying, oh, people who really, have an idea of saying, hey, like, come together, think different, quit being influenced by, the top 1% or like corporate messages and Illuminati, any of all that stuff. Let's quit listening to these people who don't care about you. Think about what we want and then do the things that demand it. Make our money work. Like, people just literally made their money work for them to be able to enact a change that's not a change that they demanded, right? Right? You change behavior, use the money, and then demand the changes, right? Of the establishment of the corporation. That didn't happen, but it's a hint into saying that's how much power is there. I don't know how much you guys put in AMC and GameStop, right? They probably got numbers and said this how many billions of dollars went in and stuff, but the small amount of numbers that it could be, 100,000, there's probably 100,000 people who put in $1,000, right, across the country. 100,000 people probably put in 100,000. I mean, 1,000. That makes a lot. And then there's probably a millions who put in $200, $400, $50, right? So you have this influence, right, to be able to enact change based off what you use your money for. And so you get the opportunity to say, well, let's stop using our money in. Now, the stock market's a fucking game. Like, they obviously have a regulation. But the first thing I would do is stop investing money in the stuff that doesn't matter. Right? I don't, most of the money that is getting spent, which is the empty investment, is into nothing. Like, you literally could change everything if everybody decided to be healthy and spent money on things that weren't detrimental to their health. Right? That's just one thing. Right? Because it doesn't do anything for society, to the revelry is fun. I like having fun too, but it's like the slow things. So a couple 100 million people are looking and watching this now. Now it's in everybody's radar. I'm not buying nothing. I don't care. I don't care. Right? But what I'm watching is how people can come together and get excited about it. But what people aren't getting excited about is like freedom of speech. People aren't getting excited about, their health care and what it's like in this country. People aren't getting excited about, how the educational system is. Like, you literally have an educational system that's it's trending downward, right? First off, the education system is filled with lies, but now it's trending towards a different type of indoctrination, which is allowing for like the morality, right, and the solidness of a family structure to be able to hold up a society to be completely crumbled and, inundated and infiltrated by these weird ideas of certain lifestyles and stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, all of this is to say, it's not to say do stocks or don't do stocks. It's to say start recognizing the power that you have, right? It's to start saying, and without being trendy, right? This is in 2 months, nobody's gonna be talking about stocks again because that's just how people are. Like it's weird. The biggest and most major thing that could probably even hurt you when you listen to the stories and hear about it and you watch it and you see these kids in cages and you hear about this person that happened to this person, it's out the door. Even if it's something good and beneficial, people won't be talking about stocks. It won't have that same like allure for people. People still won't be trying to figure out how to make it work for them. Not follow the trends. If following the trends will not make it work for you, you have to figure out the whole game. You guys are gonna have to learn the whole game and then get your own personal strategy. Not just say, I'm just gonna wait for them to say something and then go do that. Right? You're gonna have to figure out your own strategy if you're gonna make this, make sense for you. Right? Or I mean, if you're learning other strategies, it still has to be all, personalized, right? But I mean, I don't know. I just be talking. For me, it just once I kind of like read about it even more and seeing how there was other influence and other factors coming into like why you couldn't buy it, right? Because I was gonna buy AMC, like so before it like did that other big jump. I think that was what's today, Friday. I think it was Tuesday. It had a big jump, or Wednesday or something. It had a big jump. One of these days, I bought. What's it at right now, Mia? Or how high did it get? Somebody tell me how high AMC got. Real quick. What up, Deontay? Anybody know? How high did it get? Number. Anybody know how high AMC got? Anybody remember? 23. Cool. I bought at 8. And it didn't go through. Yeah, I got Herbalife stock, of course. Right? 23. I bought at 8. Right? And it didn't go through. I'm waking up like I'm looking at my joint like, I'm looking because I go and I open my stuff and I have stuff right that is generally trending like green. And then like this week, it was all red. Small. It's small. It ain't stuff major going. Like, and it's like only 3 little stocks, right? Little stuff just to kind of like play with based on something I heard actually a long time ago. So these are things to have just like I'm not gonna touch them. They're just like there for some futuristic stuff, right? And they were trending red, and I'm like, dang, man, I lost like $400 today. Like, man, this is whatever, right? They're green right now. Like up the past 2 days up. But when it was 8, I think it was 822 or something, 21, I bought. Didn't go through. I'm looking and I'm like, I see the order there. Didn't go through. So I already experienced the buying freeze a couple of days ago. You know what I'm saying? When it was 8 before it. And so when I seen that it was jumped, I was like, let me log in and see what my stuff looked like. Cause I did like 2,500. I was like, let me buy like 2,500 to just see, just cause if it like shoots up and goes from like 8 to 23, right? That's almost, a triple. 2,500 to 7,500 real quick. That would have been a lick, right? I'll take it. Not like I don't know what to do with $7,500. Like it's like whatever. Give it, like spend it. I don't know what to do. Invest it again to do what with it? I don't know. What do you do with? Hey, what do you guys do with all your money? Like, what do you guys do with all your money? Everybody says to invest. Okay, that's not doing. Like, what do you do with it? Like, does anybody do anything with their money? You had 100,000 right now. What would you do with it? Anybody? I could type. What do y'all do with the money? I don't know. I was really getting on here to kind of inspire you guys to, in the 99. Spend it. Thank you. Spend it. There ain't even nothing to spend it on no more. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. There's like, because at the end of the day, you gotta think about it. Like a lot of us are gonna have money and have a lot of money, and so as you invest and as you invest and as you invest and as you do stuff or anything, as you earn, as you make, right, you're still living a life, and then as you're living life, like the investment's gonna be there, and then for me, I'll be sitting there like, but where's the life at? You know what I mean? Don't be reckless. Like understand where you at, profits, loss, inflow, outflow, and everything else. But don't let these people jive turkey your ass into not enjoying life at the same time that you're doing like those things too as well, right? Don't tie everything up. I don't think you should tie everything up either. Don't tie everything up. Don't be looking to 4 kids. Well, that was your investment. You was investing your seed into these, little kids. You was investing your seeds into little kids. You have bills. If you had 100,000, how many bills would you have, right? How many bills would you have? But y'all, everybody should go. Like I think do your best to make $1 billion, right? Do your best to make $1 million. Do your best to get on. That's why I kind of did that post, like invest in yourself. You could, that whole thing. The market is crazy. If you don't have great income and you're going to the stock market, you're kind of missing the point. Like, you can create great income. You know what I mean? Create great income or create like a crazy amount of savings that's intended to be for investment, right? You create a great income. That's why you gotta invest yourself so you're more valuable enough to have the income to even make investment make sense, right? A lot of people were in greens and stuff like that, but making a few hundred for this 1 week is not great enough in the grand scheme of things. Get to a point of income, because you gotta think, if your income was like my income, right? If your income was like my income, then if the order goes through, I could literally just go and say, well, I'm going to just grab $10,000 worth of AMC right now. Like, that's where you want to be at off of, like, income. Then when you start talking about investments, that's what you're talking about in terms of investments. And that's nothing compared to what other people, they're looking like, you put 10,000 in, and people are doing, like, millions of dollars worth of stocks. But a 10,000 or even having 10,000 to do that's not a skin on you is not something that 90-something% of people could even fathom or are even going to be close to, because that's just numbers. Like people are making $80,000 a year, very low, couple people making 100,000. Not that many people are making earning $300,000 a year or anything else like that. So to be able to live a life and then say, let me be able to go and try to make a quick flip with 20,000 on the stocks. People, they're not doing that. So people right now are worried about what's going on in Robinhood. No, man, stop being broke. Get the income that you have to double. Are you working on yourself and investing yourself into saying, hey, I make $3,000 right now. I'm going to be working, not at a job, but I'm figuring out how to turn that into 6,000 by who I'm about to be. Right? Sometimes it is at a job. Sometimes you have to invest in yourself, go to more schooling so that you can go from LVN to RN to nurse practitioner. Is that the order? Who knows? But that's this self-investment to get there. Right? We as Herbalife distributors, we invest in ourselves and then work so that then you get to the income and then go. So when we talking about stocks, I got people that I know in Herbalife, right, who got crazy stocks. Man, I'm telling you, right? Like my boy Style, he done put some stuff up there and showed his gains. It's a different type of playing that he's doing too as well that he's not showing, right? Because he has more income to be able to do some type of stuff, right? Then all of this stuff makes sense, but you're not doing anything where like it has to be all disposable income. All this stock stuff has to be disposable, as in it does not affect you, right? Fitbrit, it's not a matter about don't invest into stocks, right? I'm not saying that, but that's the stock market, all that stuff, that should be done with disposable income. Just like when you're going to the casino and you're going to Las Vegas or anything else like that, you're just using it with money that I'm already going into it because it's gone. Like it's gone. And that's just with money in general. People be so mad after something happens, like, when you get in a car wreck, people are mad that something happened to the car, or you break your computer, you're mad something happened to the computer. The money that you spent on it is already gone. Man, what you doing, man? You spilling on my shoes, man. These shoes $2,000. $2,000 already gone. Don't matter. Stocks dropped, it don't matter. I was good. Once I said I put it in the investment account, and then I started allocating it and doing orders and buying stuff, I'm already good with what happens, so that when I open the thing and it shows red and it's trending down, I don't have an emotional response. But everybody, like I said, it's not, maybe right now you're playing with some stuff to watch and learn. Like, that's cool, but this ain't about to change your life, man. The stock market is not about to, like, right now, 2021 is not going to be the year of random broke ass people, medium income people turning into crypto stock millionaires, bruh. Come on, man. Don't let all this, the social media and the fake y'all out. It's a fake out, man. There's not that many people are coming to you guys like in real life and just letting you know some things so that you can be on the way to having that type of income, that type of lifestyle, or anything else. Like, it's all trendy. That's why people follow the trends. That's why there's a whole lot of bussets. That's why there's a whole lot of everything else. That's why we did a mannequin challenge. It's because it's gonna trend and everybody's gonna touch it. Millions of people are gonna touch it. And so because millions of people are retweeting what happened to somebody, or retweeting how good this person has got it, right? Or that person is doing good and then selling information. So that's also creating the lifestyle for them to have the income to be able to do better with the stocks. You guys are following it, thinking that that's like a hella reality, that you're going to take yourself from being, struggling to put food on your table today to being a millionaire at the end of the week because you found the right stocks. You've been following, what they've been saying on everything. Right? Get to work. Invest in yourself. And then be like, man, I'm about to put 5,000 on this and put 10,000 on that. And it doesn't bother me. That's the whole point. As an opinion. Right? You might not trust me, man. Look, I'm ashy. You ain't gotta trust me. Am I gonna invest in seeds too? It's not about, of course I'm investing in seeds, but the seeds are a commodity, right? So, right, cash is a commodity, all this stuff. So I won't put my seeds in the improper soil. Like, having kids, just have kids ain't nothing, right? As you guys are asking about kids and babies and stuff like that. I'm 39 years old, ridiculously healthy, great, ridiculous income, top 2% in North America. Where's the where's the good stock? Where's the good stock? Let's go look through. All right, let's go look through. Nope, I'm not gonna do BM. I'm not gonna put my seed into BM. That's baby mama. I'm not gonna put my seed into XWF. That's somebody else ex-wife. I'm not gonna put my investment seed into THOT. What are y'all talking about? When you gonna have some kids? Where they at? What? To just have kids with what? I'm gonna just drop some seeds off, which are valuable $1 million seeds, right? Into what? Into whom? You get the frivolous seeds. You don't get the investment seeds that grow. And that's the smartest thing that I've done. That's the smartest thing I've done, is not put my seeds in the wrong place. When I hit my first meal with Herbalife, who said I hit $1 million with Herbalife? Who said? All right, we got to do this. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, who said that? Total in checks in Herbalife for $1 million. I think I hit it. Let me see. 14, 15. probably in 2016, so at some time. So within about 4 years, within about 4 years total, Herbalife paid me that about. But that's cool. But I don't mind sharing, because people could do you could do the math anyway based off just being a president's team member, being a 15K president's team member. Um, that's a qualification level. That's also a descriptive of royalties and everything else like that. So you can like do basic math and roundabout math and kind of like guess. But making a million, I promise you guys, it's not a lot, right? It's not a lot, but it's a lot, and it gets to a point where that's why you live like you do all the fun stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like a person who enjoys life. Like we work hard, we get the income to be able to say I want to experience as much of the world as possible, right? Not do all this. I like driving fast cars. That's it. I don't care about houses. I don't care about finding new stuff to like put money in to then manage and do other stuff. Like I got the type of income where like to not have to do something is super cool. You know what I'm saying? And when I say do nothing, like I don't have to go do like a whole grip more to have the same income, right? I don't have to go randomly create stuff. I don't have to go clock into this other commitments. I don't have to get more commitments to increase my money. That's the best part about Herbalife. If you could imagine increasing your average income by, you know, $5 or $6 or $7,000 per month, but you didn't have to add any extra commitments into that, right? You're just having a process, right? You're just dealing with more people, giving more people opportunity. You could teach a class with one person, or you could teach a class with 10 people. You teach a class with 10 people, right? And have 10 people earning, you're going to earn more. You have to teach one class, and I'm just giving it so that people could understand. You're teaching 100 people, then the income grows. You can sit, and I can still do this with 1,000 people, and I didn't have to say, what's the extra commitment to also create this type of the income producing things, right? Does that make sense? What's up? SA in the house, man. Tell SA to act right so I can come out there. You know what I'm saying? My God, Jay. What up, dog? Right? So, of course, everything, took a turn. Basically, because this isn't a stock thing. Like I've said, at first I was just really, as I was reading more about it and understanding that people got into GameStop because of a short that was already going on, and then that spread and people messed up that game that was being played. Like, hey, somebody needed the stock to be low so that they can sell it back low, and then they're in the up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they needed it to go whatever, right? When I was reading that, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. People messed up the game, and then they messed up the game so much that different factions had to get involved. It just really had me sitting here like, people just randomly just went off on this tangent, and this is what happened. But the funny thing is everything that you're given, right? This is what marketing is. This is what, social media is even low-key a different way for them to also influence the games that they're playing, right? So that the things that they're involved in can gain traction and influx the market. But people don't want to get lined up on nothing. People are so like this. People are so stuck in their behaviors. People are so stuck in their habits that the things that they're getting don't make sense, right? They don't want to change to get the change, right? And then there's no alignment because they're saying that anything goes. They're saying that we're allowed to have anything. We're allowed to be liberal with our beliefs. We're allowed to be liberal in our interactions with each other. We're allowed to be liberal with order. We're allowed to be liberal with government. We're allowed to be liberal with family. We're allowed to be liberal with parenting. We're allowed to be liberal with all of these things, which when you're liberal, that means there's no structure. That means there's nothing solid. That means there's nothing that can maintain form because you're liberal, right? If I drink this drink and somebody says, hey, can you make me a drink? I'm going to pour the aloe in it liberally. That means a whole lot, despite what they may want. I'm going to request somebody to pour my drink with a liberal pour, a whole lot. It's not a measured pour. Some people like cap full. If you did cap full, then it becomes this structure, it becomes this package, it becomes this consistency, right? Of all the time. But my drink's gonna always taste different because the liberal pour is gonna have it taste different. So people don't understand that some of your liberal beliefs is why you in the situation that y'all in right now. But y'all mad at Candace Owens. She telling y'all the truth. Oh, man. But I don't know much, and I don't do much, right? I'm not an influencer. I'm influential, and I understand that, but in that influence, I like to come to you guys like super real. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I would suggest all of you guys do as you guys get into what you look at, who you view, who you listen to, and see how real they are. Right? Authentic, like real, like able to be without filter. You know what I'm saying? Like, should we be filtered out while we talk to you guys? Wait, how do you do these filters? Like, imagine if I was talking to you guys like this. I look good, though. I look good. I don't trust people. Sure, it looks cool. Sure, looks clean. You know what I'm saying? Everything else like that. I don't trust people that use filters. I can't lie. Because it's something about always seeing yourself as you look better as that certain type of way instead of how you're actually gonna come across. There has to be like some hell, right? Male, female, or anything. Like, it's, why do you want to not look like you? Like, you look like how you look. I'm sorry, we ugly, right? It's you gotta be real. Let me turn this off. How do I get out of it? Help me. Oh, here we go. Oh, look, ugly, quick, that fast. Oh man, I should put it back on. I worked out. I ain't even took a shower yet. It's crazy. Right. But imagine if it was such a need for me to not show that, like, every day. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I mean, it ain't a knock. It's not a knock, right? And it's not like I don't like people or anything else. But for me, it just always seemed weird because it's like a filter is a filter, and you have to understand what a filter is. It's either a disguise, right? It's either a masking, or it's separation of certain things. So what if I filter something? If I filter a river, everything in the river is part of the river, or the soil is part of the soil, right? And then I take the scoop filter out, like if I'm gold mining, and if I sift it, like filters are sifters. That's what it is. A filter is also a sifter, so you're not getting the fullness of somebody. They're filtering themselves. They're not giving you the fullness of them, however it is, good, bad, or anything else. They're just giving you a little bit, right? Less for an intention, for themselves or for you. Who knows? So you got to be careful, man. You know what I mean? I'm not like gonna say like I'm a realist or something like that. Like that. That's not really what it is. It's just one of them things. Who knows? This live is really just making like no sense. We talking about everything and nothing. I don't know. But the best part was a seed conversation. Go back to that, read that, listen to that, understand that, right? So, okay, unfiltered your net worth. Like how much money I have, it don't matter. It don't like it literally doesn't matter. If I net worth was like a million or like 10 million, I'd be sitting in the same place, saying the same things, like with the exact same thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Next year, as obviously net worth can go up, it's it's not gonna change. It's not gonna change, right? You guys watch those like you guys see Keanu Reeves. They always got these memes of Keanu Reeves, and there's a whole lot of other actors. Like some of them live in like little trailer homes and stuff like that, just because it's like super simple. Keanu Reeves is like riding the subway. Everybody thinks that's so awesome that he's super rich and he rides the subway. And Jim Carrey kind of goes and he seems a little kooky with some of the things he says. You're not you. I doesn't exist, which is a fact. What happens is you get to a point where you make enough money until like everything that you would do with money kind of happens, and then money doesn't matter no more. And then there's a piece of you that money matters, because you need to influence people to get money so that they can have the money to take care of those things. They can have all the fun, get rid of the things that are pressing them like bills and stuff. And then that doesn't matter. And then they become more about other people and helping other people get to this place of like happiness and inner peace. Like you got to get the money to take care of all that stuff. So then you can focus more on other stuff. Right. So for me, that just is what it is. Oh, that's Paco Sub, man. That's Paco Sub, man. That's a homie. Me. So that's what it is, right? And it's crazy. Like sometimes there's a place, and I was thinking about it because I just did this interview, and I kind of was like running over it in my head. This morning, actually, right? I did an interview on Monday, and then it randomly came into my mind again, and I was thinking about some things about it, and I said, I could have said a different answer on some of the questions. Not with me, Renee, no. To hang out, kick it, chill, do everything, but not for the, everything else. So I'm thinking about my answer, and I was like, oh man, this is such a non-answer, because he asked me like, I think it was like where do you see yourself? And when anybody like right now, I get to the point where like pin level for me, it literally does not matter. I'm here for everybody else to get to their levels, and that may take me up to 40K, that may take me up to 50K, it may take me to international executive, chief executive, chairman's club. I'm literally so unconcerned with it. Like, it doesn't mean that we're not in the trenches, we're not still doing whatever. Speaking on HOM, that like I'm still here, I'm still doing a promotion, we still doing everything. We've got new clients, distributors, preferred members, and everything else. But I'm not attached to all of that anymore, because it's not a definition of self. It doesn't define me to, in 10 years, in 5 years, this year, to do anything. Like, my goal is always to get to this place of feeling amazing. That doesn't make me feel amazing. Like, it's great and I'm like excited about it, but there's the internal, the validation of self that's my goal right now. And it's been like that for a little while, and I felt myself in like 2017, like I really went through like low key a wave of depression, because like I was having to get to that point. I was needing to get to that point, and then everything about being involved in the matrix was like it was pulling me down. I mean, there's moments of just like literally crying at certain like realizations and revelations that came. Right? Like, to go and have a goal that to get more money, it literally leaves me with more money to be constrained with the time of the amount of time I can spend at a vacation is still the same whether I have $10 million or $1 billion. I'm still constrained by how long that vacation is. It's a week-long vacation, period. It's a week-long vacation, period. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a different level of food that I don't have access to at any restaurant. There's not like right? I may not spend $25,000 on a big old bottle of champagne or anything else, or have like, $30,000 wine. I'm just really not like on it like that, but I don't need it. That's why. Like it doesn't like do anything. So it gets to this point where I'd rather see people with those problems instead of it being depressed over can they make ends meet. They're depressed because they haven't been self-actualized yet. They haven't lived into their potential. They're still existing way less than who they innately know they can be. Right? I'd rather have somebody go off the grid after they've already made millions and said, this is why I'm off the grid is because all of this stuff, I chased it to get clear and get rid of the matrix stuff, bills and everything else, and then now I'm left with myself. And I have the financial freedom to be with myself and really be making that good and make sense, right? To not be defined by the success and not be, depressed by the lack of income. So I don't be, you know what I mean? So you're lackadaisical, you're casual with it, and you're just here to bring other people to a place and say, hey, I just want you guys to make a whole lot of money. So then you could figure out the rest of life. Right? Get all of that out the way so that you could figure out the rest of life. So when you get to the point where you're at, where you have this kind of crazy income, I don't be excited to go do all the stuff that people with income do, because then it creates this other thing that's always on your head, and I don't want that. There's a part of you that wants to leave. There's a part of you, there's a part of me that wants to be all the way gone. But I'm sacrificing that feeling for what I want to do for other people at the moment. Right? You should get some duplexes. Nigga, for what? You should go do this. Why? Y'all want to play? Y'all want to play in the Matrix? I don't. I want to be free. This is Zoom, so it's only a shirt, and I'm free balling. No, I'm gonna stay around. You know what I'm saying? I could also be that cool uncle that they get a chance to come visit. Oh man, it's summertime, man. We get to go to Uncle Soup's in South Africa. Hey, it's summertime. We get to go to Uncle Soup's, man. He's in, Bali, right? Some people, really want to go to Bali and everything else like that. And I've been in Malaysia and met presidency members that live in Bali, and they're like, man, you could live in Bali. That's stuff that appeals to me. Who wants to be in the United States and California their entire life? And you could, for the next 50 years, I don't live nowhere else. What? I'll do 5 years everywhere, right? And then you just build a business that actually allows you to be able to do any and all of that stuff and have those, places everywhere and those experiences everywhere. And still, it's not about, life is simple. There's not that much, right? I don't know. So that's just me though, right? That's just me. I gotta maintain the mindsets that make me, feel comfortable, mentally comfortable. Right, it's not like to say don't get in them comfort zones, because you can get out of those comfort zones for certain areas and certain growth aspects and everything else. But then there's this mental health piece, which is why people are mentally disturbed. This is why people go through everything, because life is always there. Life. What you have, you, and then you have the fake you, the you on paper, the you that everything is connected to, what you owe, what you own, net worth, net liabilities, everything else. Those are two different people, right? You have the natural you, and then you have what they call the the straw man you. Y'all can learn about this later. Most people are so busy taking they're putting the stresses of their natural self into creating the straw man. Like, you don't have money, your name has money. The paper, the trail, the electronical version of what I could look up about you exists, and we put so much effort into that. There's not enough effort into the natural being, right? And that's the rub. That's the rub. You know what I mean? You're just you, but then you have this also created image of you that exists on the World Wide Web and on record, that can say what you do, what you have, what you need to do, etc. And people put more effort into that instead of this, and it's the danger of why everybody is right. When you get a chance to talk to them, like if you talk to me, like, man, I'll tell you, man, it's tough. You talk to the other people, they'll tell you, oh man, it's tough, man. I have these doubts, I have these things, I don't have anybody to talk to because they're broke, and I got a gang of money, and they're gonna say, why do you have these feelings when you make five five figures a month, and the high five figures a month, and what I'm saying, like, there's people I know who that's been some things that happened to them. You can make 50, 60, 70, $80,000 a month, and then you don't have anybody to talk to because they're just trying to get rid of the rent is $2,000, and that's what's heavy for them. Plus what happens when something happens to the car, or something happens when something happens to the kid, or something happens when something happens to the house, and there's some repairs that got to get done, and then they don't want to listen to how you're just trying to figure stuff out and be peaceful. Right? And so you get to a point where you get income and everybody got investment ideas, and you be sitting there like, y'all could have it. Y'all could have it. Take it. Take it. Take the crown. Take the crown. And then what? You're going to be looking for them simple days too. You're going to be wishing you was a kid again too. I'm going to go take a shower so next time I get on this live, I look as good as y'all look.